previously on ITW.
You can see we're snowed in. I'm at my home. David.
See, we're going to talk to him about websites and blogs, right?
It has a lot of good, some posts and some good tutorials. Former educator who now works with Google. As a matter of fact, he's going to be at NC Ties.
Our techandlearning.com, edutopia.org, and Mindshift.
And one that we didn't even mention, which is Atomic Learning. And welcome to another edition of ITW, the show that helps you incorporate technology into the classroom. DNA is here once again with you guys. We're at SPA. Here, SPA, the central office location. But today we are here because we want to talk to you guys about using interactive whiteboards today. We're going to talk about how you can use this more effectively in your classroom, whether you're a beginner user, a more advanced user, or you're someone who just really wants to take it to the very next level. We're going to try to figure out how you can use this more effectively in your classroom. We're going to be talking about how to use whiteboards.
Yeah, a lot of good information on that. At the very end of the episode, we're also going to spend a little bit of time, since it's February, we're going to spend some time talking about Black History Month.
Yes.
It's important, and since we're DNA, we're going to put a tech twist on that. So make sure you guys stay tuned for this edition of ITW.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about interactive whiteboards. Now, just keep something in mind. Right now we're using a Promethean board, and I know some of you will have a smart board. So just know that a lot of features that we are going to be showing here, Smart has comparable features that you can find as well. So don't be alarmed that we're just using Promethean. So if you are a beginner user, you haven't had a chance to play with your whiteboard yet, you should have the software already downloaded on your computer. You can even download it to your personal device if you wanted to. But I would get familiar with this software. And I would start with this toolbar right here. You can see the toolbar over here. I start by getting familiar with that. You can see it has a lot of the same features that you would see on any typical presentation software, your annotations, your erasers, highlighter, a bunch of good stuff over there. But let me just show you a few things that most presentation softwares will not have. So if I go to this next one, it'll talk a little bit about the handwriting and the shape recognition. So this will allow me to draw a shape or type in, or write a word, and it will pick up on my handwriting and translate it to text here. So that's a good feature for this. I have my ticker tape going across the top here, so I can put a message up here that my students can read it and follow those directions. And I also know that the revealer tool is also a feature that a lot of teachers like, where you can reveal different parts of your screen. So if you don't want them to see everything, you can just reveal what you want, and it's great because it works up and down, left to right, all that good stuff. So the revealer tool is a popular one as well. So once you get familiar with the software, you know the tools, and you want to get to something more advanced, let me just show you a few ways that you can do. So one of the options that you have is you can use what's called desktop annotate for Promethean. It's going to take you to your desktop, and you can have anything you want on a desktop. It could be a poem, it could be a story, it could be a math problem, whatever it is. And now whatever you have on your desktop, you can use your Promethean toolbar on your desktop. So right now I just have an article from the Charlotte Observer, and now I can take my highlighter feature up here, and I can highlight important parts of the article and talk about that, and me and my students can have a little more in-depth conversation about what's going on, and we can go here and circle things and put comments and all different kinds of things that we can do with this desktop annotation. In addition to that, one of the options that you can also do is something called your action buttons. I can pull in different actions that I know I'm going to want my students to use in this particular piece of work. So now if I automatically know I want them to use the highlighter tool, I can just click on it, and now they're highlighting something, or I want them to write out something. They can click on that action right there, and now, erase that. and now my pen is up, and I can use that. So using your action buttons, your desktop annotate, they work well together. So it's something that you can do once you get more comfortable with using your Promethean. Now, the most important thing that I feel that you need to really consider whenever you're using your Promethean board is how many people can I get up here at one time. That's really how you're going to make the most of your money. Most Promethean boards and smart boards will have tablets or slates that are great to have. They allow you to be mobile, you can control it, the actions on your board. They're really inexpensive. The software is already there. They're really great to use. But if you have a board yourself, this is an expensive piece of equipment, so you want to make sure you're making the most of it. How do you do that? Well, this is how you can do it. One of the options in Promethean, paper's blocking me, is the dual pen user. And with the dual pen user, I can have multiple people on the board at one time, and it's great. I can have a math problem up here on the board. I can have several math problems up here on the board, and I can have multiple students working collaboratively on those math problems. And now I have almost like a brand new station. I can have a station of kids working on iPads doing things. I can have another station of kids doing group work, and I can have a station of some kids up here working on a problem together. So the dual user is a very key thing to use whenever you're using interactive whiteboards. So these are just a few basic things. There's a lot of other resources that you could go to and find more information about how to use your smart board. You have atomiclearning.com. You guys have accounts for that. There's wikis for CMS, both for smart and Promethean. And you can Google and YouTube and a bunch of different other places to learn more about that. So continue to check out more about your smart board. Check with your specialist. But these are just a few basic features that you can use your whiteboard.
All right, guys, before we go, let's spend a little bit of time talking about Black History Month and how the teachers can use technology in their classrooms to help teach students about Black History Month.
Right, there's a lot of different activities, and that's great what's already being used in CMS to kind of commemorate Black History Month. One of the ones I used to use is I used to incorporate social media into teaching Black History Month. You can learn a lot by looking at someone's Twitter page, looking at their Facebook page. You can learn a lot about one person. Imagine what Martin Luther King's Facebook account will look like. Or imagine what Rosa Parks' Facebook page will look like.
I don't know how many likes and followers.
I know, exactly. So this is a tool that you can use. It's just a basic, simple PowerPoint template where you can use this and let your students complete this Facebook-like template to kind of express their understanding of maybe a particular character. We also have one for Twitter, so maybe you can have them kind of give an account for an event, maybe the March on Washington, or anything any significant event that you want to kind of document, but do it in a way that the students are familiar with. So that's one activity that I use, and it was very simple. The kids seem to enjoy.
That sounds great. I mean, you shared that with me a little bit ago. One, I sat in with Jill Thompson. I think you remember her from a couple episodes ago.
I remember Jill.
I think she beat you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, so Jill explained to me a little bit about, I believe it's called, I might have the wording here a little bit wrong, but it's using Google Maps, you can create Google Treks.
Yes.
It's kind of like, you mentioned this.
Geocaching.
Geocaching. So what Google Treks is, you can take, for instance, the Underground Railroad, and you might go to Google Maps, and you'll create a trek. So it's just dots on a map, and on those dots, you have the students click on it, and it might show a YouTube video. Or it might just give some information about what happened at that location. It might show some pictures, or it might have an assignment with it. So make sure you guys search that online. Just Google, I think it's Google Map Treks, and you can probably use that to help your students out.
That's part of the students too.
Yeah. So guys, thanks again for tuning in to this week's edition of ITW. Make sure that you like us. Comment, subscribe below.
Yes, let us know what you think.
Yeah, definitely. And we want to hear from you, though. Make sure you guys communicate with us by sending us any emails to our email address, and that's itw@cms.k12.nc.us, or you can tweet us at CMS@thecore. We want to know what you guys want to see on the show. So thanks again for tuning in, and make sure you guys tune in next week for another edition of ITW.